Hi, insiders. Welcome back to Thailand Real Estate Insiders. It's the home where real estate entrepreneurs with a twist teach. Today, we're going to talk about how did an expat who was a father to be created a trustworthy real estate agency in the crowded Pattaya market. Being normal gets you ordinary, unfulfilling results. So today's guest decided to create relevant value to his customers by providing informed education where customers can make a well-informed choice on their own. And that's how he built trust. Frank Satar is the founder of Property and You Company, a real estate agency with a twist that operates out of Pattaya City. So, Frank, welcome. Tell us a little bit about your background.
Thank you, Raj. Thank you, Insiders. Thanks for your time. Well, basically, my background is simple. I was born in Iran. 1987, we moved to Australia with my whole family. 1995, when I was 18, I was granted the Victorian sub-agent's license to actually operate and represent real estate agencies. My first job, by the way, was at Kendama Real Estate in Dandenong, one of the suburbs in Melbourne. Around 2003, with my family, we started Money and You Financial Solutions, which is a very small mortgage brokering company. It was a small two-person company, but we settled over $4 million every month worth of residential and commercial loans. Now, basically, what happened is during 2009, when the world was having the whole financial crisis, I suddenly saw a chance, an opportunity to actually travel around. Okay, so while everybody was crying that business is down, we were so busy prior to that that I just saw it as a chance to get away and go on a very long holiday. So my travel plans were to be in Pattaya for a month, and then from here go somewhere like Russia, and then meet my family in Turkey, in Antalya for the summer. And we didn't go as planned because I'm still in Pattaya. Yes. So that is that's
Once you're there, you
correct.
don't want
Yes.
to leave.
Well, when I was here, what happened is that we thought, okay, we will stay for a month. So I thought, instead of staying in a hotel, let us try to rent a villa somewhere. And through that, I got to know many of the real estate agents here, and taking us around, showing us properties, and I saw how much opportunity there was in Pattaya. I mean, it's it's a growing market. It has a lot of space to grow. And one thing that amazed me is how much property is so close to the sea line. Okay, how cheap they are selling, and how easy it is to buy one. As you know, in Pattaya, in most of Thailand, people go on payment plans. Okay, so basically, for maybe a $50, $60 to $100,000 property, and you have a 3-year payment plan. So I saw all this. I sort of put two and two together. Then I decided to stay here and give it a go.
All right.
Yes.
So you're quite a unique person, as I've come to know you. So I'm gonna pick your brain today. Okay.
Not a
So
problem.
what was your first brokerage transaction in Thailand, and how did the deal come about or go through?
Okay, well, I'll tell you what happened is that I was given a project by Mr. Ronnie Feynman from the Nova Group called Novana Residence. Now, that was my first project in Pattaya. I was given the sales. And we were planning a launch day, and as I understood, in Pattaya, usually during launch days or launch evenings, people invite a lot of agents and a lot of close friends. There's a lot of drinks and pretty ladies and a lot of promotional material going around. But that's where it stops, really, besides maybe a few investors that come in, which have been set up prior to actually come and take a look and purchase.
So no
What
real
I did,
results. So no real
well,
results.
not really, not the result that everybody should be looking for. And at that time, because I was new here, I was really hungry and trying to impress. So I thought, okay, I do have a lot of experience. As I told you before, I've been doing this since I was 18 years old, and I think I'm probably the youngest person that can say I've been in the industry for 20 years. Yes, so What happened was I actually asked the heads of sales and also Mr. Ronnie Feynman if we could, instead of just inviting agents, why don't we invite the whole database, everybody else that actually bought through the Nova Group in the past. That was hit with a bit of conflict because they said, okay, maybe some agents will take the
Just to
customers.
give a sort of a background to the listeners, so Nova Group is quite an outstanding condo developer in Pattaya. Yeah,
Great.
yeah.
Yes, 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 yes.
So
They're
you're
actually
asking,
one of the biggest.
yeah, and you were asking Ronnie Feynman, hey guys, you're now gonna have a launch, a pre-launch. So why don't you send an invite to all the old customers in your
That's
database?
correct. So
That's what
basically,
you asked.
not just the agents and personal friends, but actually everybody who's ever bought through Nova. Now we knew that not everybody was going to be in Pattaya at that time. Okay, but many of the locals who'd already bought through Nova were. So basically, cut the long story short, we made the launch. We invited everybody. I got a very very good discount offer for anybody who buys on the day. And as soon as the agents found that out, they actually brought their customers in as well. And what happened is that as soon as the first client bought 6 units, then suddenly everything just caught on fire. Another one bought 2, another one bought 3. Even a couple of agents started buying one. And by the end of the second day, we sold off 24%, excuse me, of the whole project. So
So the
that's my most memorable transaction, and it was the initial transactions that I did there, that I did in Pattaya.
Wow, it's impressive and really smart of you. So you had a two-day launch day,
That's
and with
correct.
that you created a momentum effect, the domino effect that created at least 24% of sales of the units.
That's correct.
How many rooms were there?
It was 252 rooms.
So you sold about say 50 something rooms?
Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah.
I tell you, we sold to a few agents, and we also sold to many to many local investors. Okay, and also I actually ended up buying two myself as well. I tell you, that's how. I mean, I got mine with a huge discount because of the results. But
I think you got yours for free because of the commission.
I should have. Yes. So yeah, that's the most that was my initial transactions and the most memorable one.
Okay, so now if a potential investor is looking to buy a property, right? How should people start preparing to buy a property? Like, what should they be thinking about?
Well, first of all, what they should pinpoint, which is what I tell everybody who comes to me, is understand why you are buying. That's the most important question you can ask yourself. Okay, is why I'm buying. Am I buying purely as an investment? Okay, if I'm buying as an investment, what type of investment am I after? Am I after a rental investment? Is rental income what I look to achieve, or is it capital gain? You know, you'll be surprised how many people are actually asked this to and they're not sure. Okay, I'm like, why are you buying? Well, you know, it was affordable, but no, you know, if you just go by this basis, you will come back to me in 1 year's time or 2 years time, and you will be frank, please sell the property because it wasn't the right type of property. So basically, the first thing you need to ask yourself and you need to set aside is why I'm buying this. What is my future goals for this property in the next, you know, 1, 2, 3, or 5 years? And what options do I have? Okay, as far as what I want to do with the property. Once you have these answers, then finding the property that actually suits your goals is very easy, basically.
Yeah, and that comes to the next question is like you operate differently. These are some of the things that I see that you do differently. I'm going to name them first and then we'll go through them one by
Sure.
one. So, first, you provide a sort of an education blog that provide potential customers or anybody that comes into your website with real estate investment information or laws regarding real estate in Thailand, right?
Correct.
The second thing you do differently is you have a sort of a multiple listing website on uh, Pattaya Property.pro to funnel
Correct.
customer requirement leads to you. That's really a smart way to do business because you would know right away their specific needs, or that's the thing you were asking about, like the why. And
Yes.
then the third one is you have potential customers do a survey of a sort of thing to gauge their investment and requirement appetites, and then recommend them products that fit their requirements.
Yes.
So let's start with the first one. You provide a sort of an education blog that provide potential customers or anybody that comes into your website with real estate investment or legal laws in Thailand. And
Yes.
and this is important to foreigners because some of the foreigners are looking to invest in Thailand and they don't know anything about it. So tell us a
Yes.
little bit about that.
Okay, well, basically, after so many years being in this industry, I really see myself more as a problem solver, okay, rather than a estate agent, just a salesperson. I'm fortunate enough to be in a stage in my life and in my career where I can actually educate people. Okay, now after so many years of selling, I now see that the best type of buyer is actually one who is very well informed. Okay, buyer who is educated, it's more easier to interact with him, okay, and to actually make him understand than a buyer who is not educated, who is not well informed. So I had this idea a very long time ago where I always wanted to make a website, not to have listings there and sell stuff, but just actually, this is where the original idea came from, just to educate people, what type of things should be looking for, how do you categorize yourself. Okay, basically, do you know? I mean, I know a lot of buyers, they rely on the estate agents, to actually inform them about all the legalities, which is fine. But if you're investing in a foreign country, or in any country for that matter, it's much better for yourself to actually know the laws. Okay, you can depend on the agent, but it's much better if you're actually aware of this, because at the end of the day, is the customer's money that's actually going into the product. Okay, so I always wanted to make a website that people can come in. Okay, I'm a rental investor. What sort of things should I be looking for? Okay, I am a resale investor. What sort of things should I keep my eyes and my mind open to, basically? And yeah, so this is where the idea came from. Then for the multiple listings, well, I thought, okay, it takes a very long time because there is a lot of stuff for sale in Pattaya. Okay, now if a client came to me, it will be very difficult for me just with a small database of properties to actually match him with the real product that actually pairs with his goals. Okay, because of the limited amount that probably I would have on my website. So this is where the idea came in, that if I'm going to do a service where where I can pair people, match them with the right property, then I need a huge database of properties, basically. So I spoke to a few good agents who have very nice current listings. They always keep their listings up to date, and I've seen that. And I came up with this idea of, come on, guys. I mean, you guys already have your listings, and why don't we hook them up, okay, to one main website? And basically, so like this, we are sharing the listings. We will share our clients, but that's a different story anyway. But basically, the point is that once I've qualified the customer, then now I've got over 4,000 properties, okay, to go through, to choose from. Okay, this client, for example, is a long-term investor. I would like to get him something beachfront. Because beachfront, as you know, this is an example, but it's a true example. Beachfront is very limited supply of land. Okay, so if you're somebody, for example, who's looking to invest in a long term, then I would always say, okay, why don't you go beachfront, or somewhere very close to the sea. So having such a huge database of properties really helps me try to pinpoint the right type of property for the particular buyer.
Okay. Um, it seems that your target segment is a foreigner, right? That's the target that's your niche.
Correct.
Why did why
Yes.
why did you pick this niche?
Well, basically, what happened is when I was working for the Nova Group, for the Tulip Group, when I was running their sales teams, our main market was the foreign market. And one thing that I noticed is that basically, people come in, they don't know much foreigners don't know much about, the laws in Pattaya. I mean, many of them didn't even know difference between Thai ownership, foreign ownership, and as I told you before, they just had to rely on the agent. Now, even though we got many very good agents in Pattaya, okay, but many salespeople, okay, who are just there as salespeople, I noticed that they were not fully aware of actually what they are selling. Many times I would ask the person who's brought the client to, okay, why is your client buying? This is the first question I always ask. Why is the person buying? It's like, I don't know. I know this is their budget, and I'll be like, well, if you don't know why the person is buying, how do you know this is the right product? Okay, it's within the price range. So I saw this so many times, and I just saw my market there where I can go in. Okay, with my experience, I can actually qualify people. After so many years in real estate, you want people to come to you and actually go away having made some sort of profit. Okay, so this is the joy I get out of it now. It's not like I was a teenager when I started, and I don't have the high for the sale anymore, if you know what I mean. Okay, for me it's more about, okay, I know a successful purchaser, a purchaser who makes money through me, will come back much quicker. Okay, this is how we worked in Australia. The more money we make, the more money we save for our client. Okay, the more money they have to invest. It's like taking the pressure off people. So after so many years, I really like to help people. Okay, so I don't do any selling or any hearts. It's basically problem solving. So when I saw all these foreigners who are not very well informed, basically I just saw my niche. And I love doing real estate. I mean, doesn't matter with what type of market or even which country. It's just this was my first job that I ever got, and I'm still doing it. So yeah,
You're well educated about legal foreign laws, foreign legal laws in Thailand. So, and I think you're also well attuned to the financial legalities here. So,
definitely.
what are the types of property finances available for foreigners here in Thailand, or is there any?
There is a few. There is a few. The most simple one I can, and which is the easiest one to obtain, okay, would be through a company called MBK. Okay, now we actually work with them. We've done a lot of finance for them. Okay, so sorry, I should rephrase that. We haven't done a lot of. We've actually taken a lot of clients to them, and yeah. So they have a very easy process. Okay, as I said, we've done a lot, but we've done some business through them. Okay, the process is very simple because the bank only lends up to 50% of the value of the property. Okay, so the risk is much lower for the bank, so they tend to have a very easy criteria. Okay, now the interest rate is a bit high. Okay, it's there around 9%, 9.25%. Okay, so we don't try to push this type of finance, but it's always there for the client as like an emergency fund in a way, where if something happens, for example, at the moment we've got Russian people who have purchased something off the plan. They've paid off, let's say, 50%. The other 50% is very difficult for them to pay off because of the currency issue. Okay, and this is the times where we say, okay, we got this finance available. Okay, if you cannot complete your transaction, if you're in a danger of losing your money, at least this is a way where you can fund the outstanding amount. Okay, using this bank, and hopefully we can get the place rented out for you, so that the rental income can cover your payments. Yeah, so I always keep this type of finance because of the high interest rate, just as an emergency fund for people.
All
Yeah,
right. You said MBK, right?
correct, yes.
And it's a bank. It's a Thai bank.
It's an institution.
Uh,
Okay, they're not particularly a bank. I mean, I'm sure you've heard of the MBK. They have a huge store in Bangkok.
oh,
Okay,
that MBK.
that's
All
correct.
right.
Yes, yes. They're
Okay.
also doing property finance for foreigners. Okay, the other
Okay.
type of finance for foreigners, well, it's not really for foreigners, it's for foreigners who have Thai companies. That's a little bit more complicated. Okay, yeah, but the simplest way, okay, is how we use this just as an emergency fund basically for our clients.
All right.
Yes,
So now let's talk about the multiple listing website, pathiaproperty.pro.
that's
Uh,
correct.
I see that you're using it to funnel customer requirement leads to you. So it's more
Correct.
of an invitation where customers are more open, because then it's not about you trying to sell them something, but it's more like, okay, I have these needs, these requirements,
Correct.
and it's a really smart way, because then the customers, they don't have to have an upfront mask of anything. It's easy. They just need to talk about what they really want. So tell me a little
Exactly.
bit about that idea, and like how did it come up for you?
Well, as I told you, it was really, I really like dealing with customers who are very well informed. Okay, informed about their situation, their future goals. Very often I get people who don't know why they're buying. I mean, because the prices are not very high in Pattaya. So, oh yeah, it was affordable. But I tell you, almost every single one of those customers come back to me in a couple of years and say, oh, sorry, Frank, I bought the wrong type of property. Could you please sell it for me? Okay, so basically, I've made my website. We've got over 200 articles on the website that I or my colleagues have written. Okay, and basically, people can go there. Okay, you need to know about land ownership for foreigners in Thailand. You can always go to the website. I'm sure we have more than 5 or 6 articles just covering this topic. You want to know about just foreigners. If you're a foreigner and you just want to know about the property market. Okay, if you want to see some figures, then we've got reports about Thailand economy. We've got reports about Thailand real estate industry, for example, for 2014, 2015, outlooks. Okay, so basically, you can basically just go there, have a browse around. You want to learn about Pattaya, even you want to learn about Thailand. You want to know about different areas, okay, of Pattaya. You want to know about foreign interest in Pattaya, or anything that's being launched. And very soon I'm doing an article about the highway that's actually cutting through. Okay, these are always very good places to buy. Okay, so basically this website is that you can come in, you can educate yourself, then we have an abundance source of properties. You're not just going to a website that's got maybe 200 or 300 of their own properties which they've listed, which is fine, okay, but it's not everything that's available to you, basically. So with our website, we are sharing database with a few good agents. So basically you can just come in and first educate yourself. Okay, then try to put yourself in a criteria. Okay, am I an investor? Am I a resale investor? Am I a rental investor? Do I want to do land banking or property banking, or whatever it is that you want to do? You basically come in, you pinpoint that with our help or without, just with the help of the articles, and then once you're ready to start looking, you've got over 4,000 properties to choose from.
Wow,
Yeah.
impressive. So, you were saying the next article that's coming out is about the high-speed railway that's coming from Bangkok. Is that what you're
That's
talking about?
that's correct. Well, there's going to be a new highway coming in from Bangkok.
Oh, not
Okay,
railway, highway,
there is a
motorway.
railway coming, and there's also a motorway coming.
Wow.
Okay, yeah, and along. I mean, once this happens, a lot of the areas that seem to be very far away, suddenly they're not so far anymore.
So this is
Okay,
cut. The motorway you're talking about is being cut behind that area, the Siam Country Club area. That area you're talking
correct.
about.
Yes, that's correct. Yes. It's gonna come all the way there. It's gonna go even through Silver Lake, I believe. Yeah.
So Silver Lakes will be partitioned out. There'll be a road leading between it, or what you're
There,
saying?
there is going to be road actually going, and I think even I'm going to have a look at the plans this evening. okay? And once I have all the facts, then I would try to actually incorporate everything into an article. Okay, article would basically be about where I think people should start buying. You know, we did the same thing in Australia many years ago, where we knew of a highway that's actually coming. So we went and bought a property that was 1.5 hours away from the city. But once the freeway came, okay, it was only 15 minutes away or 20 minutes away from the center. So it made a huge price difference after the highway was built. So basically, based on that experience, okay, what I want to do is sit down and see in which spots, okay, will be the main spots and the main intersections and things like that. And that's where I will recommend people to buy, yes.
Okay. I I want to make a request for the insiders, the audience listening. So when that article is out, right? Could you send me the link so that I can post
For
it in the
sure.
post? Yeah?
Most definitely. Definitely, for sure. It'll be my pleasure.
All right. Now, could you give me a specific example of how you got a customer using this funnel?
Well, basically, how I get my customers is a little bit different. Okay, is because you know, as you would know, I post a lot of like legal posts, legal articles about real estate, investment articles. So once people read that, okay, you know, lately, I mean, many people get their clients through SEOing and through their website and things like that. I seem to be getting most of my clients through my real estate groups. Okay, people who have read my stuff. Okay, basically, if you're interested in the subject, if you own a property or thinking about buying a property, okay, you know, people usually go and join groups, property groups. Okay, so many people who read my articles, okay, either instantly or maybe a few months later, they always, you know, contact me and say, okay, Frank, I've been reading your articles, da 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 da. Basically, now I'm ready. Okay, either they go through the website themselves, whether they do or not. What we do is we do another screening test where I try to categorize exactly, you know, break things down, and you know, you'll be surprised how much useful information you can get from a buyer. But if you don't ask, they will never tell you. Okay, so basically, we qualify and we screen people and then categorize them into the right category of buyer, and then you know, once I know that, it's very easy to find them a suitable property. There's no selling involved basically, so it's
All
all
right.
common sense.
Um, can you give me a recent example of a customer that you have purchased from you doing this funneling?
Well, basically, I can give you the most recent was okay. Basically, a client came to me. He was a rental investor, okay, but he didn't reveal to me early enough how much cash he's got, okay. So suddenly, you know, you know, basically what we did, but we actually qualified him. I worked out that for his particular need, because he's not going to be in Pattaya full time, it's best if you try to find him something with a rental guarantee. Okay, so basically what we did was we just sold him 3 units with a rental guarantee. Okay, now one thing he didn't tell me, but as I mentioned before, that maybe I should have asked him, okay, is how much cash he's got available. Okay, because he ended up buying these units. Two of them he bought cash and one he bought on a payment plan. Okay, so but if I had have known earlier, okay, that he's got this type of spending power, okay, I think I could have even shown him a few other options, okay, but for the idea that he gave us, which is he's looking for steady rental income, safe income, he's not going to be here full time, so he doesn't have time to run around and rent the place or furnish the place, do the maintenance and repairs. So basically, from what he told me, something with a rental guarantee, 5-year rental guarantee, by the way. was the perfect product for him. Yes, yes. Another one we've got just now is a gentleman from England. He's looking to do some land banking. Okay, so we are trying to find him something around. We've actually found him something around Silver Lake, very close to the Silver Lake winery. Okay, now because he wants to do land banking, I only suggested something on the main road, because as you know, in Silver Lake there is a lot of beautiful land, very beautiful land. I think that's going to be a really upmarket area, but main road is always scarce. Once the land on the main, I mean, you could have acres and acres of land around, but you only have one main road, and once the land is finished, it's gone. Okay, so for land banking, we've actually found him 6 rye. Okay, right on the main road, just past the winery. Yeah, so these are the recent examples I can give you.
And what was the cost per rye?
3 million per ride.
So the price has not jumped up yet. It's
Well, you know, just a little bit before that, I saw another block of land, little bit closer to the Sukhumvit on the main road, and they're asking 6 million baht per ride. Okay, so I'm sure these owners only bought this land probably for about 100,000 baht per ride. I truly believe that because of what's happening around Silver Lake, okay, now they are building a second water park, which is going to be probably double or triple the size of the one they already have very close by on Sukhumvit. Okay, they are doing very Tuscany style restaurants, there's wineries there. A lot of things are happening around Silver Lake, and I believe somebody who buys now, you will make about 30% per annum on capital gain on something like this. If you buy on the main road, if you buy anything scarce, price goes up much quicker. But if you just buy a little bit in, maybe on the side streets, it won't go up as much. But you always got to look around to see what's happening in the area. You know, what are the future plans for the area? How much? I know personally there is a lot of money going into the Silver Lake area. A lot of investment. I just know a gentleman who bought something around, I think, 45 rye, just very close to where we are selling. Okay, and he's going to make a park there, and also he's going to put another winery there. So there's a lot of money being put towards Silver Lake. Okay, so I truly believe something on the main road will make you about 30% capital gain per annum. And
okay.
that's being conservative, yes.
Have you bought? Why and why not? Have you bought in that area?
Well, I'm actually buying one rye for myself right next door.
And you're buying it for how much?
Well, same, you know, basically 3
Three
million
million?
per ride. Yeah, 3 million per ride. I'm actually buying. So I'm actually buying with my client.
Okay,
Okay, so
got it.
so yes, yes, yeah. Basically, what's happening is they are taking 6 rye. Okay, but I will keep 1 rye. So they will end up with 5 rye and 1 rye for myself.
Okay,
Yeah,
got it.
and yeah, yeah, yeah. Because you know these days, I mean, maybe I can explain this a bit further. We were looking at houses and villas around Silver Lake, and you know these days you can buy something there, let's say for about between 7 to about 12 million baht, which comes with 600 square meter parcel of land and a very nice house on it. Okay, but basically, you know, people who are in this situation, okay, which I am actually one of them, all right, is that it just makes much more sense. Okay, you know, land always appreciates. The house itself, it actually depreciates in price. You know, as you go on, the house gets older and more dated. Your appliances, your flooring, whatever, everything gets older and cheaper. It's only your land that will increase in value. Okay, and I just didn't see the sense. I don't see the sense of investing in a 600 square meter piece of land with a house on it for 10 million. Okay, when you could buy a rye of land for 3 million, it would probably cost you less to put a house there than to go and buy a ready villa. Yeah, so
Mm-hmm.
this is the idea behind what we are doing, that maybe we will subdivide the land as well and try to maybe build another house on the second portion. Okay, so at least our options are much more open now. Okay, than they would be just with the house on a small block and inside a little state. And I just don't see the point of doing that, basically.
Okay, got that. Now let's go into the third uniqueness of yours, and that is you create a client analysis report system, right? What's that all about?
Well, basically, is very very similar to what we just talked about, where there is a certain questions, okay, that need to be asked, okay, from the buyer, okay, and you need to hear them in the buyer's own words, basically, why you're buying, in your own words, basically describe to me the perfect property you have in your mind, okay, what type of area you're interested in and why. The why, the reason is very very important, because sometimes because of lack of information, people tend to even choose different, the wrong area. Okay, so for example, as I said before, if someone's looking to buy something long term for capital gain, and they're like, okay, I want to buy something in East Pattaya, for example. Okay, well, why? Because maybe he's heard something. People here always speak to the locals, and not everybody has the right information. So okay, no, the area you've chosen is wrong. Okay, maybe you should, for example, I always try to sell people closer to the sea. There is only one sea line, and once all the land around the sea line basically is gone, okay, it will be like any other country where suddenly, some of the units we sell here for about 2 or 3 million overseas, this distance to the sea level, will cost you a few $1 million. Okay, but it wasn't always like that. Now it's like this here because there's so much land available. But as everyone's been seeing, land sales in Pattaya have really increased, and prices have really increased as well. So yeah, so basically what we do is we first try to screen the person, okay, ask him a few key questions, really try to pick their mind, and based on that, okay, once I know their future goals and why they are buying, what they want to do with the property and why, basically that's the whole analysis report for me. So based on that, then we put some options together for the buyer for them to have a look at. Yeah, so that's our basic analysis. Yeah, even on the website, maybe I can share the screen with you. Okay, I've actually got a section where, okay, all right. Let me just try to share my screen with you. Okay, can you see the website?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. But basically, if people just went on my website, pattayaproperty.pro, even if, for example, you want to search for properties, I've got a type of buyer section here, okay, where you can choose what type of buyer you are. Maybe let's say you're a retiree, you're a person who wants to retire in Thailand. Okay, so once you pick your areas and your price range and type of property, let's say condo, okay, we won't worry about the rest. But once you press search, what happens, okay, is that you get based on your own chosen criteria. Okay, for example, we chose the elderly. Okay, tips for the elderly residents buying property in Pattaya, so they can just go through everything themselves. Okay, read about the criteria. We also include a lot of laws. We include the questions that you should be asking yourself as well. So basically, we try to help you. See that you should be always categorizing yourself. You cannot just go in the market as a buyer and that's it. You need to know what type of buyer you are and why you are buying. Now, if you're not sure about that, you can always go to our education section, okay, where we've got articles about if you want to buy in Chiang Mai, for example, we've got many articles about basically every single part of Thailand, but really we specialize in Pattaya. For example, this particular article, rental property investment checklist. Okay, so there is many pages, about 7 pages here, plus on the side you would get a lot of lot of articles. For example, Silver Lake, Pattaya, property investment strategies. I even have success stories. There's one here, Bangkok investment success story. It's about a lady from very humble beginnings, actually, and she, what happened is she started investing in property, okay, in rental properties, and now she's got a portfolio worth a few $1 million. So yeah. So we try to put things that are educational there. But basically, if people go on the website, they can, if they know already what type of buyer they are, okay, or they can choose several different types, okay, to see what really suits them, or to learn about. Okay, it's always good to know about different scenarios. Okay, but advice I always give and question that I always ask is, why do you want to buy? Okay, this is the fundamental question. Yes.
All right, Frank, take a bit of a break, huh? I have a sponsorship scoop. So today's interview's sponsor is Monte Carlo Tailors. Monte Carlo Tailors is a specialist in men's tailor-made suits, shirts, and pants, and that can be completed in 3 days. The result the customers get is to look good outside and feels great inside. One of the issues many of the expats that lives in Bangkok and Pattaya face when ordering tailor-made clothing is that it's the uncertainty if they're gonna get what they ordered the way they ordered it. Actually, one of my expat friends sums it up pretty nicely and accurately. He said, "You go into a tailor shop here, it's a hit and miss thing. If you're lucky, you get a good establishment, your clothes come out the way you wanted it. If not, then, like Thai people say, it's karma." So, and actually, I don't have a solution for that. Tailored clothing is quite an experiential and personal thing. What I can do is to invite you to try our work and let the results speak for itself. So to start the process, give me a call at 086-330-7228. We also have a tailor by phone service where we go anywhere in Bangkok to consult in style, fit, take measurements, and deliver the clothes on completion. Monte Carlo tailors, we make it look good outside and feels great inside. So back to you, Frank. I'm gonna take another cut, huh? The last time we met at a meetup at a network event, you explained to me how a client of yours bought into a condominium project and how you were concerned that the developer wasn't going to fulfill on his obligation and complete the project. And you would like the condo developers circle in Pattaya to have more accountability amongst each other so that they can see this coming. When I listened to that, I was so impressed on two fronts. One is that you care about your customer. You're not just selling the units and that's it. Second is your request seems reasonable considering the amount of money involved in real estate. So, have you enrolled any developer with your idea yet, and how did that go?
Well, it's good that you actually mentioned this, because regarding the same subject, I actually went and spoke to a few developers, okay, asking their advice about what I should do about this certain situation. The situation was that I had a couple of clients actually that bought units with a particular developer, and it just looked like the project's never going to start. And later, if we actually suspected that maybe the gentleman is going to do a runner, okay, unfortunately. So, I spoke to a few developers. They actually introduced me, to a few ways where I could actually go about this. So they were very helpful. Okay, so cut the long story short, we actually took legal action against this Hilton developer. Okay, and we were backed up by many of the agents in Pattaya. Okay, so as soon as people saw me come out, I think everybody realized, hang on, there is a problem here. And since our hunch was right, okay, so the developer actually has been arrested since.
Wow.
Okay,
That's because
yes,
you took
yes.
action.
Pardon?
Then that's because you took action.
It's because we took action, yes. I mean, a lot of people hadn't realized, okay, hadn't realized what is happening. Okay, so, I was the first one to realize what's happening, is because my client unfortunately had overpaid on his contract, okay, and they were still asking him for more money, which suddenly it arose my suspicions. Okay, but as soon as, I mean, we have a lot of good agents in Pattaya, and we have a lot of very good developers in Pattaya. Okay, so as soon as other people found out really what's happening, everybody got behind us. Okay, and there is strength in numbers. So we got a very good lawyer, and we actually went through everything. We saw that no, he had lied about owning the land. Anyway, things like this. So he's actually been arrested. Yes, he got arrested about 3 weeks ago.
What about the
Yeah.
money that he took for the payment terms?
Well, that's basically what's happening now that the police are investigating, plus the lawyers. Okay, of they're trying to find out through him. Okay, where the money is. Okay, but they show that the money is inside Thailand, which is great news for us and for our clients. Okay, that was an unfortunate case. I've been operating here for 5 years. We never actually went through something like this. Okay, but sometimes things happen. But when they do happen, people need to take action and do the right thing.
Okay, and I think what you did is correct. It's good because uh, I think people need someone to stand up and then they start to follow. And if you didn't even start doing that, then
Mm.
people will still be giving installments, and that would
I
delay.
think I think he will still be selling now. He'll be sitting in his office and selling. Okay, which I mean, he launched two very nice projects, very good location. Okay, and he'd actually finished one project already before these two projects, which he was doing with a reputable developer. Okay, before this, so I think this particular person just used some of the good developers here to get his credibility up. Okay, then go out launch on his own. Um, I don't know, how he could have planned this, but I mean, as I told you, I see it as a waste. Both projects, very good location, very nice projects, very nice starting price. So all he had to do was continue doing the right thing, okay, and he would have launched probably another 4 or 5 projects in the city. But unfortunately, some people like to take the easy way out, and as we see, the easiest way isn't always the best way.
All right, so to lighten things up a bit, so who's your favorite developers in Pattaya and why?
Okay, my favorite developer is very easy. I've got three main favorite developers, which are Nova Group, the Tulip Group, and Kingdom Property. Okay, now these three companies in particular, I've also worked for them as well, so I know what kind of people they are. Okay, how they work, they work ethics, how much they work, and really each one of them, each one of the CEOs, for me acts like a bit of a mentor. It's actually the people that I look up to. Okay, which is Mr. Kobe Elbers from Tulip Group, Mr. Ronnie Feynman from Nova Group, Sir Nigel Corning from Kingdom Property. I mean, these people, they are really the elite in the city. They've been in the game for a very long time. They have great work ethics. Okay, and all three of them actually started from very humble beginnings. Okay, and they've actually worked their way up, and for me, I really admire people like this. There are also other very good projects here. For example, I can tell you, there is a project in Pratamnak which I'm very impressed. Okay, it's called the Elegance. Why I'm impressed with this project is because the quality is outstanding for the price that they are selling. Really, they are really using. I've been looking at this project since it was being launched, and I'm still surprised because what they are charging, they are really giving very good quality product. Yeah, that's one more thing that actually really impresses me about Kingdom Property. Also, they take great care in quality. If you so does Nova Group and Tulip Group, of course. I mean, if you just go through their building sites, okay, see how clean everything is, how organized everything is. People who take so much care, okay, of for example, site safety, okay, you know from these people you're also going to get very good quality.
Right.
Yes.
So now I'm gonna make you a little bit squirmy or uncomfortable. Let's talk about numbers. Um, how let's start with something light. Like, how many transactions did you do in 2014?
Probably close to, let's say, 40 or 50 transactions, I would say. Maybe it wasn't our best year, okay,
Wow,
but
that's impressive.
it really depends. It's not really depends on number of transactions. It depends how big every transaction is. You know, we were fortunate enough last year. For example, my biggest transaction last year was 135 million baht. Okay,
Wow.
for
What was that
for
about?
it was just some land down in Pratamnak. Okay, I cannot still, I don't feel comfortable giving the location still because everything, yeah. But that was our biggest transaction. You know, if I had 50 of them, that would be great. Okay, but unfortunately, or maybe fortunately, not all transactions are as big as that. I mean, Pattaya, really the price range really starts at about, a little bit over 1 million. Okay, something luxury, for example, starts at about 5 or 6 million. All right, so basically, it just depends on the client and depends on what they need. This year, I know we're only in the beginning. This year starting off very good. Okay, there's a lot of cry in the market about people. We are losing the Russian market in a way because of the Russian currency crisis. Okay, which angered me in a way where people were, everybody had the same complaint. Oh, we don't have much buyers. We don't have much buyers. Then one night it just hit me. So I collected a database. I started to make a database from Russians who desperately need to sell. And now I see many agents are actually following that. Okay, then they are starting to do the same thing. So businesses come back up again for everybody because now, we have a list of really properties that we can sell for bargain price. Okay, so even though the Russian markets disappeared, smart agents, they now have a bank of properties which they can sell to their shrewd investors. Okay, so basically, once we realize this, so I mean, I can give you examples. We've got properties for about probably 25-30% under the market price. Okay, and you can imagine how easy it is to sell this type of properties.
Are you
Okay,
talking about
so
condo units or land banks or
no, mostly Russians bought condos here, some bought villas. Okay, but most of them they bought off plan. That means they have maybe half their payment still outstanding. But the Russian currencies lost so much value that it's just not worth for people to actually complete the transaction and start sending the rest of the money. Okay, and basically they like to sell and get out at any price. Okay, so just depends how pushy the buyer wants to be. I've had a few buyers who actually had very very good prices. I felt bad for the sellers, so I didn't want to push them as much. But they told us, okay, give us any offer that you get, and the buyer was, okay, why don't we try this? He they actually started very low, and we worked our way up. And at the end of the day, I think they were both happy. Yeah.
all right. And I'm gonna shoot in the dark. Could I did you earn a commission in 2014 of more than 50 million?
Oh, I cannot decide. That really creates a conflict of interest. But I can tell you, okay, no,
All
no,
right.
no, no, no.
Okay,
But
so um, what are the strategies you're looking for to improve the numbers for this year?
well, this year for myself personally, I was actually hoping to have a bit more quiet here. okay, because we have a new member in the family. So I never plan to work very hard this year. Okay, I think personally I see this year maybe as a little bit of a personal development year as well, where I can spend a lot of time with my son. Plus, I'm also I'm started studying online. I want to get my project management certificate. Okay, by hopefully the middle of this year. So, but business is very good, through the website, and because of all the education and articles that we are posting every day. I've got a program which posts on different groups automatically, and it's booked in for the next. I mean, we can in one go do your whole year if you have the time to set things up. Okay,
Yeah, yeah.
so yeah, through this, we are getting a lot of inquiries.
You're
Okay,
talking
so
about Post Planner, right?
that's,
The
well,
program is called
it's called Hootsuite, but
Hootsuite.
yes, it is a post planner where basically we can sit once a week or once a month basically, and you plan all your posts, and basically it saves a lot of time. Okay, people often I was in the same meeting that we were last time in Bangkok together. If you remember, they were actually complaining that Facebook isn't getting them much business, and everybody wants to learn about how to get business from Facebook. And the thing is, everybody thinks, okay, I will open up a Facebook page for my company, try to get all the likes up, okay, but that's only about 20% of the work you should be doing, really, as yourself are doing now. You're also posting in Facebook groups, okay, which is great. That's exactly what I'm doing, okay. But through this program, I plan all my posts. They come out same time every single day, okay. And basically, through this, because nobody is actually advertising information. Everybody in the real estate industry is just advertising properties. And I think people are sick of going on Facebook groups and just seeing, okay, oh, 2-bedroom thing for rent here, or a 1-bedroom thing for sale here. So basically, through our approach, okay, that we don't post properties, we just post information that people can go and educate themselves, okay. And through this, we are getting a lot of very good feedback. So,
All right. What should people invest in these days?
what should they be investing in these days? Well, okay. One thing I'm really passionate about in Pattaya, okay, is beachfront real estate, or okay, as closest to the sea as possible. Okay, I always like to tell people, okay, if you want to buy something that is scarce. Don't buy something that there is so many other options available on the market, very similar options. Once you buy something close to the sea, or if you're fortunate enough to be able to buy beachfront, okay, basically once that land is gone, it's gone. Okay, in 5-10 years time, that's where the money is. Okay,
Okay.
in Pattaya, suburban Pattaya, I know for a fact, okay, from everybody who's bought condos, there's been thousands of condos selling in Pattaya. The only ones that will really make some long-term money is people who bought beachfront or things with undisturbed sea views, for example, units that people cannot build in front of, that will never lose their view. This is the type of property people should be buying, okay, if they're looking for long-term investment.
Okay. And any areas that's coming up?
No Jomtien's really coming up, okay. Now, before there was a lot of land available around the new Jomtien second road. I can tell you they're all sold. You cannot even buy one rai of land there anymore. Okay, so basically, upcoming area, Silver Lake is a very good area because people are throwing a lot of money towards that area, building water park. There's going to be now. There is already one water park. There's going to be another water park. There's going to be another winery. They have a lot of attractions there. There's another Thai lady superstar. I think she's an actress. She's just bought a heap load of land, trying to do some sort of a theme park there. Okay, I just noticed, there's two BMW showrooms just opening up there. There's another Mercedes showroom that's opening up. And these companies do a lot of research before they open up in any area, okay? And the fact that they've chosen Silver Lake, okay, it says a lot. And also from Silver Lake, it's a 5 minute drive down to the sea, and a very, very beautiful sea as well. Okay, so Silver, I personally really like Silver Lake because I can see people are throwing a lot of money there. Okay, and if you own a property anywhere, if people are throwing money on your neighborhood, it eventually takes the price of your piece of real estate up as well. Yeah. So if people want to buy, really try to buy as closest to the sea as possible. If you're thinking about condos, okay, something with a sea view that's never going to be blocked, something right on the sea line would be great. That would be, you can buy these days, let's say for about 5 or 6 million baht, something that is beachfront. That would be $1 million property within the next 10 years, I believe. Yeah.
Okay, we are coming up to a close now. So, and Frank is quite generous. So if you are a real estate investor and you would like to know your why you're investing, why do you, what is your passion about your investment, or what type of investors you are, or real estate entrepreneur you are, Frank has offered to give his time by doing a pre-analysis with you, and he'll give you a report for it. That is his email right there, frank@propertyandyou.net. And you can get in touch with him and tell him how you have learned from him from this interview as well, from the session as well. Thank you, Frank, for that.
My pleasure. Thank you.
Okay, now if you have only one chance to give advice to entrepreneurs, what advice would you want to give him and why?
Okay, well, I always tell people, life begins at the end of your comfort zone. So, try to get out there as much as you can. Don't do things, if you've been doing the same thing for 2 years, for example, if it hasn't worked, then you cannot continue doing the same thing because it's your comfort zone, basically. So I always tell people, try to get out of your comfort zone, try new things, talk to people. If one of my bosses told me a long time ago, maybe I was 20 or 21 years old, he said, make a target of meeting 10 new people every day. Okay, and I actually did that, and it really builds up your database. You need to have a lot of contacts. The most important thing, in my opinion, about any businessman or entrepreneur is that you need to have a good reputation. Okay, credibility is everything in business. Okay, as the Persians say, we say a man with a good credit is a partner in everybody's wealth. Okay, so basically that is my advice.
Okay, very good advice indeed. And is there someone you want to see interviewed on this program?
Okay, well, I think maybe you should be somebody who is very, very active in the market. I think maybe Miss June Bernard, you would be
June?
interested in. Miss June Bernard, she's a developer. Okay, she owns Powerhouse Properties.
Yeah, I
Okay,
know her personally.
yeah,
Very, very
yeah.
nice lady.
Yes, she's a family friend of ours, you can say in a way, but she's very, very active. I always get inspired every time I speak to her. She talks so passionately about what she does, and she has tons of energy.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think if you wish to interview somebody, it has to be somebody who is really, really active in the market and giving it their best, and June is the person.
Wow. Thank
Yes,
you. All
pleasure.
right, that's it for us today. Thank you for your time and your generosity and your insightful
My pleasure.
information.
Likewise, thank
Right?
you for your time, and thanks to your listeners.
Insiders, take care. I'll see you in the next session. Bye bye.